I'm back already. I've just literally stopped and started this video. But there was this once I was so ill. I had this really high temperature, and like I had all the flu symptoms. Like I ached all over. The light was hurting my eyes. I had a runny nose. I had a really bad sore throat. A headache. I was hot, but I was cold. But I was hallucinating, like full on hallucinating, and it was horrible. And I couldn't get a doctor's appointment. I remember I was like sat on the sofa all day, just really, really, really ill on this day. And I was just like, oh my god, I just felt like death. And I was like, I don't want to get into what the hallucinations was, because I don't want people to fake pretend they're having hallucinations. It weren't like crazy hallucinations. I weren't imagining crazy things, but I definitely weren't very well that day. It was quite a few years ago, because it weren't at the last house that I lived at. It was at the house before. But I was so unwell, and my dad was texting me, but I don't even want to get into it, because if I start telling what the symptoms are and there's someone who wants to pretend they're hallucinating, because people pretend they've got illnesses, I don't want to say what was going on. But it weren't crazy hallucinations or anything like that. It was just like, I don't want to say, but yeah, I was very, very ill. But yeah, I never get mild colds ever. I used to always get tonsillitis as well when I got a cold. I've had tonsillitis more times than anything, and I should have had my tonsils out when I was younger, but I never did. And I probably should have done. I probably should have had them out when I was very young, because I was always getting tonsillitis, and every time I got a cold, until probably about, I don't think I've had it for about 18 months to 2 years, and that's the longest I've gone without having tonsillitis, because I'd normally get it around twice a year. I'd get like different variations of it. I wouldn't always get like the full on heavy tonsillitis where you're very ill for a long time. Sometimes I'd just get it for a couple of days or a day, and then it would start to calm down. But every time I used to have a cold, I'd end up with tonsillitis. Sometimes it would start off, I'd start getting the cold and I'd have tonsillitis. But yeah, I've not had it for a long time. I've been getting sore throats and stuff a lot recently, since around last October. But I've just been when I start getting a bit of a sore throat or feeling a bit unwell, I've been having Manuka honey with fresh lemon and fresh ginger. And I feel like it's stopping me from getting really ill when I do that. I'll feel like flu-like for a few days, and then it'll go, and I would like to hope and think and believe that it is what I've been drinking, the honey, lemon and ginger, also taking painkillers at the same time. But I think that's stopping me from getting full-on colds and flu. I also have the flu jab every year. I've been getting it, my doctor's been giving it me for the last few years, and I don't know why, because I don't have any illnesses other than depression. And do they give you a flu jab because you've got depression? I don't know, but I've had it for the last 3 years, I think. But every time I have it, I get ill. Oh god, last year I had the flu jab and I was ill on and off for 6 weeks, literally. I had it, and but I already had flu actually. I caught it from my ex-boss, because when I told someone that I got it and she found out that I'd told them that I'd got it off her, she went mental at me and started having a go at me, saying that I could have caught it off anyone, but she was the only one I'd been around who was touchy-feely with me, who had it, so I knew for a fact I'd got it off her, but it doesn't matter who got it off. But it lingered, and I had the flu jab whilst I had it, because I said to them, because I'd had like this flu thing for about, because I was meant to have it, and then I changed my appointment because I had flu, and I still had it when I think the appointment was like 8 days later after my original one, and I still was really unwell, but because my temperature weren't too high, they let me have it. But then, of course, because they're giving you a dose of flu, I was ill on and off for about 6 weeks. I think it went on for a bit longer. And then there was one day I thought, oh yeah, I'm feeling a lot better today. And I went out for something to eat with my dad and someone else. And I was sat there, and then all of a sudden I went ice cold. Then I started sneezing, and I know when I start sneezing, that's it, I'm coming down with something. So they were like, oh great, and I couldn't stop sneezing, and my throat started to get sore, and yeah, I had to go home. I went home, and I was there shivering, and I was really ill, and I was quite ill for about 2 weeks then, and I was ill for about a week and a half, 2 weeks after that, after those 2 weeks. So I was probably ill for like 6-7 weeks in total. Some days I felt worse than others. But yeah, I think I'm due the flu jab in September again, so. But I hate it because I know I'm going to end up ill. Every time. I think every time I've got flu to some extent, which is crap. And like, I don't always get it straight away. Normally it takes a few days. But I know this time if I've got anything, I'm going to wait a couple of weeks to make sure it's gone. So then when they do give me a dose of flu, hopefully I'll be fighting fit. But I guess I'll have to wait and see. It's not something like I look forward to, like, ooh, let's go and get a flu jab. But obviously they think I should have it, because they don't give them to everyone, do they? Like, my dad has it because he's 900 years old. My mum gets it. My stepdad gets it. Why does my dad get it? Do you get it because you're old or because you've got an illness? My mum gets it because she's got every illness going, according to my mum. My stepdad gets it because he's diabetic. I don't know why my dad gets it. Well, he is ill now, but he probably gets it because of his age. But yeah, you might. But even if you don't get the flu jab, you can buy it. I mean, you can't buy it and do it yourself, but you can get it done at most chemists for, I think it's £10, because the first time I had it, I paid for it. That was a long time ago. I think that was 5 or 6 years ago, and that made me ill. That was brilliant. I don't know how giving someone a dose of the flu can stop them from. We don't stop them from getting the flu. It stops them from getting like a heavy dose of the flu. But saying that, the year before last year when I got it, I got flu about 4 times within 6 months of having it. So I don't know what was going on, and I mean full on, really very unwell flu. Yeah, so getting the flu jab doesn't always help. It's meant to stop you from getting like really bad flu, but as I said, like early last year, I had really bad flu 4 times, and I was still going to work with flu. I was actually very ill for the first 4.5, 5 months of it last year. Very ill. I was ill all the time, and like I used to work Saturday nights, I used to have an energy drink before I went to work to help me get through work. And there'd be times like I'd be driving to work with my dad, because I'd sometimes pick my dad up and he'd go for a pint, but he stopped going because he basically didn't like how I was being treated. But I'd pick him up and I'd be like in the car, like really upset, like I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 6-7 hours, because that's how ill I was feeling. But I'd still go, because you know, if you've got a job, you go to work no matter how ill you're feeling. I wouldn't want to let them down. I'd still show up no matter how much like death I was feeling. But that's just me. The only time I wouldn't go is like if I've got a cold, and you know when you get that cold, when your nose runs non-stop for like 12 hours, that would be the only time I definitely couldn't go to work. that's the worst part, when you get a cold and you've got that runny nose where it's just dripping out. Sorry for the TMI for anyone who doesn't like that, but that is the worst part. That and the temperature. When the temperature starts to come down, that's when that's when I start to feel better anyway. I guess everyone's the same, but yeah, the runny nose thing. And when you're like lying in bed and it's running everywhere and you have to like shove tissue up your nose, and then you can't breathe and you have to breathe through your mouth, and like, yeah, colds are evil, and the flu's evil as well. I get the flu more than colds. Some ways flu's not as bad because you don't get that snotty nose thing, but I hate being ill anyway. Like, I'm ill all the time, so. But what I've got is better than having flus and colds, believe it or not, even though I feel horrendous. I'm like getting so tired yet I'm just sat here talking. I've got so much footage. There's going to be like a video up every day for the next week. But I'm still not, like, I'm still on my break, everyone. Believe it or not, I'm on a break. I just don't, I knew when I was coming back to this channel, and I knew I weren't going to post every day, and that still stands for when I do come back. I won't be posting every day. The plan was bi-weekly vlogs, like twice a week, longer ones like 20-30 minutes long, but then I've got to upload the footage, and I've uploaded footage like that I filmed in the last couple of months, but I've not uploaded that much. But I was meant to upload enough to like have 6 weeks worth of footage, and whilst that's going up, upload the next 6 weeks, if that made sense. I'm still on my break. I'm very much on my break, by the way. But as I said in a video, like the last video, the video before, I've got the video coming up. Like, this is going up after this week's video. That's already scheduled, and then the week after's needs doing. But I've got enough footage for quite a few vlogs, which will mean going into when I'm coming back. So should I extend my break, or should I come back and keep this footage for if I have another break, or I need footage and I've not got footage up? I don't know, because it's getting to the interesting footage, and that's why I'm a bit like, what should I do? Should I put 2 videos up one week? I don't know. Like, I need to decide, and I need to decide fast. Answers on a postcard, everyone. What should I do? I personally don't know what to do. I'm in 2 minds about it now, because in my head, like, I found it hard to let go. I think that's very obvious by the fact I'm still doing videos. I'm not doing videos and uploading loads of clips and editing together and scheduling and all that, but I am doing these videos and uploading them overnight as I sleep. Obviously, I'm not going to let these go up, because I've got one going up Monday, and as I said, I'll do the first one Tuesday, then I've got Wednesday scheduled, then I'll do one Thursday, one Friday, probably one Saturday now, maybe one Sunday. But I don't want to be doing these videos. This is the whole point in having a break, that I weren't doing these videos, even though I'm not doing what I was doing when I was uploading them and putting titles on and like writing in the description box and doing all that stuff. I'm still doing this content, and I know I'm doing this because of how I'm feeling, but I wanted a break and just have a video up every week, and I just couldn't let go, and I obviously still can't let go. And I want to let go. I want to be able to go off and have a break and just have 1 video per week from old footage. I still want that, but I don't know what's going on with me anymore. It is hard letting go on this channel, because I've put so much in on it, and like, there are days when I've not got a video up, and it's like, it's hard, because I've been at my lowest points and I've still got videos up. I've still scheduled 2-3 weeks ahead, and that's what's kept me going. And maybe that's why I'm getting myself into these states, because I don't have it anymore. I don't know what I'm meant to do, but it has helped me. It has helped. And there's people that don't want me to put these videos up, but it's not like I'm giving away state secrets here. It's not like I'm telling you about what things people have done to me, and I've not revealed much. I know people, like someone said to me, like, I'm saying I've got no secrets yet I'm putting it on the internet. I'm not putting all my secrets on the internet. If I was saying everything on here, I'd be telling everyone where I come and park up, I'd be telling everyone my address, I'd be telling them what I do every day, where I go every day, what I'm wearing every day, who I talk to, who I don't talk to, what I'm saying to who, what I'm saying to who and when and where and how, and I'd be disclosing every single detail about my illnesses. I'd be saying all the illegal things people have done in detail. I'd be telling you about things the police have done wrong and how they've treated me. I'd be saying everything. But all I'm mainly talking about is how I'm feeling, my car, dodgy drivers, not being able to sleep, nightmares, being ill comes up a lot, being stressed, being depressed. Like, this is not giving away my secrets, it's not telling people much, it's just hopefully showing people what it's like to be depressed and stressed out and unwell and on edge and all that. And I do come on here and I'm upset a lot and I don't know what I'm saying half the time, and maybe that's why people don't want me to do the videos, because I might come on and accidentally say something, but it's not intentional, it's just me being upset and not knowing what to do with myself. But surely they'd rather me do that than go out and walk around the streets stressed out and not knowing what's going on around me. Like, I've done that, I've been there, I've done that, I wore the t-shirt, and I'm trying to do the sensible thing by coming out and talking and, distracting myself rather than doing something else. So, there's no harm in what I'm doing, I'm just trying to do my best to get through another day. Like, I hate being alive, I'm not going to lie and pretend otherwise. I hate being alive, I hate the way I feel, I hate what's happened to me, but I don't come on here and tell people what's happened to me, and that's, I don't like talking about it anyway, so maybe that's why I've not done it. And that's another reason why I don't drink as well. I can't drink because of, well, there's a few reasons why, but one of the reasons why I don't drink is because I feel like I would come on here and say all sorts of stuff that I shouldn't be saying. And the last time I had a drink was when I was in Devon. I had 2 large glasses of wine. Anyone would think I drank 2 bottles of wine, the way that affected me, and how I had a hangover the next day, and then I felt ill for the rest of the time I was in Devon. And I think it was something to do with having those 2 large glasses of wine, because A, I'm not a wine drinker, I don't drink wine, I really don't. And B, I'd not drank since, I don't know. When did I last drink before that? Because I didn't drink at Christmas because I had a migraine non-stop for about, was it 6 days, and then I had it for around 3-4 days a week for the following few weeks. I didn't drink on my birthday. I don't know when I last had a drink before that. Possibly September. I used to drink after work every night. I didn't at first, but everyone was allowed a free drink and I went having a free drink, and I did all these shifts and I went having free drinks, and someone pointed it out to me that everyone else is having the free drink, you're not having your free drink. And this person basically said to me, why don't you give me your free drink? And I said, if I get caught giving you a free drink, I will lose my job. And they said, well, it's your free drink, you can do what you want with it. And I was like, yeah, but it's you. Like, I could probably give it to anyone else in this pub and they wouldn't bat an eyelid. But if they saw me pouring this drink and they'd know straight away I weren't going to have it and hand it to you, they would think I was giving you a free drink. And they were like, no, it's your free drink. I'd be like, no, it's you. They would kick off if I gave you my free drink. So that's why I started having my free drink, because they were like, well, you're doing all these shifts, you're not having your free drink, they're already underpaying you and taking advantage, you need to have your free drink. So I started to have my free drink, but because I'm not a drinker, I would always be hungover the next day on one drink. And then I was starting to like have maybe 2 drinks, and then when I was at home I'd have more. So I was definitely hungover every Sunday, and then if I worked Sunday night I'd be hungover on the Monday. If I worked Monday nights I wouldn't have my free drink because I was like, I'm not going to be hungover Tuesday as well. And I worked Thursday nights, and did I? Yeah, I had my free drinks because it was really stressful at that point. So I'd have my free drink on a Thursday. So then I'd be hungover Friday, and then if I ever did a Friday night, I would try and avoid it because I'd be working Saturday night, and Saturday night was always the busiest night. But there were times where I would have my free drink on the Friday. And I remember once I went out on the Friday night, and I was so hungover on the Saturday. Like, I wanted to die. I was at work and I was like, oh my god. And luckily it weren't busy. And luckily they knew I was hungover because I was out with one of them and I went back and worked quite drunk. But yeah, I used to drink. Well, for me, I drank quite a lot last year, but I really have a drink, and I was like drinking a lot. And then I would go home and I'd like well, I'd never drank alone, I'd always drink with whoever I went home with that night. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? Whoever I went home with, it was always the same person. So yeah, and Sunday night as well. And oh god, yeah, I don't drink as well because I start writing down stuff that's happened to me, and I don't want to start writing anything down anymore. But yeah, my main concern would be that I would start filming myself drunk and start saying things that I shouldn't be saying about things that have gone on and things that I shouldn't be talking about. And also, A, I don't want the hangover. B, I'm carrying 2 illnesses, and being hungover as well as feeling this unwell wouldn't be very good. And there is another reason that I'm not going to get into, but I just don't want to drink. Funny thing is, I've got at least 3 bottles of champagne at home, because I've just been given another one. My dad said that I've got a 4th one, but I don't know where. I've got a bottle of Larson that a client gave me last year, and I was going to have it to celebrate something. At some point last year, I'm not going to say when, because I don't want people to think it's one thing when it's not. Then I was in hospital overnight in March, and I got sent some flowers and a bottle of champagne. I can't remember what brand that champagne is. It's not a really expensive one. And then I got a bottle of, I can't remember what it's called. I'll show it in a video tomorrow or something. But my dad reckons I've got a 4th one, but I don't think I have. I think it's a bottle of Carver, what he's talking about. I don't even drink champagne. I'd be so rough if I had champagne. But I've got at least 3 bottles of champagne. I've got 2 half drunk bottles of Malibu. One I bought and one my ex bought for me. I've got some bottles of cider around the house. Got a bottle of mulled wine from Christmas. I've got a bottle of mulled cider from Christmas. Got a bottle of something else. I've got a bottle of White Witch in the fridge. I've got some Bowls Blue, or Blue Balls as people call it. Got some vodka. I've got some Bacardi. 2 bottles of Black Tower Rosé. And some other stuff in the cupboard. And it's just going to waste, and like I wish I could drink. I won't drink alone. I'd have to be in a very dark place for me to like go and open a bottle of wine or start drinking Malibu with Diet Coke. That's my favourite drink, Malibu with Diet Coke with icing. I'd have to be in a really dark place to do that. But I always think about how ill I would be if I did it, because I do get the worst hangovers ever. Even if I just had one, I'd be rough the next day. Also, because of the illnesses I'm carrying, getting drunk would make them a million times worse. And as I said, there's another reason. And also, the come down, as I call it, the next day, it's too much for me to cope with. I'll continue this in another video.